Welcome in, y'all. Today is all about Bachelor Nation. We are Black Girls Talking TV, where we are bringing the group chat to life and talking all of our favorite TV shows. Like I said, today is all about Bachelor. So if you have not watched the second episode of this season, exit out. But if you don't care about spoilers, stay in. And once you do watch it, come on back in. I am Victoria. I am a psychologist in New York and Illinois.
I'm Kamaria. I am a lawyer in the DC area and also a pop culture writer. And usually we are joined by Chi Chi, but Chi Chi, we're trying to move the date up for you guys so we can get these episodes to you sooner. And Chi Chi's in London. And so we're going to try to hold it down for the rest of the season, but we might have some guests every now and then. So welcome in, and we'll just kind of flow into it. So we're gonna start off with group date number one, the basketball, whatever that was. It was like a basketball game. Like, what did you think about that as a whole? Like, I was a little thrown off, but I was like, okay.
It definitely was given like this is a test to see how y'all act around kids.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that seemed to be Grant's primary goal of taking them around the children. Some of them seemed like they passed the test, and some of them didn't seem like they passed the test.
Yeah. Like, just let's talk about Zoe. Let's bring it up. Zoe, come to the floor. Like,
Come to the floor,
what were your
baby.
thoughts on Zoe? Because I feel like I'm surprised she even got a rose. To be honest, like I would have X'd her off of that alone because like being around kids and you're doing this little sort of selfish like I'm gonna steal them away thing. I don't feel like that teaches a good lesson to these kids. And I think like because even like the little girl who was the little black girl who was
It
like
was
one
a
of the coaches.
coach,
Yeah,
yeah.
she was so cute, and I was like, look at her. We got flavor already. When we kids, we have flavor. But she, at a certain point when they came, she was, oh, here they come back.
Right.
She understood that that girl wasn't supposed to be out here like stealing. She did something. We can't talk about it. And so I feel
Right.
like that wasn't a good role model, a good like signal to bring this cattiness in front of the kids. So I'm so surprised she got a rose. That's why I'm like, what
Yeah,
do you
I
think?
definitely I agree. I felt like time and place. I do get that y'all are there to like compete for Grant's time and attention, and so like if it was another setting, I probably wouldn't have like doctored too much for it. But you know how much like family and things, family and having kids means to Grant. So I feel like if you are putting your best foot forward, that probably wasn't the best foot. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, how did you even know there was an upstairs? I'm like, this is where you get into the area of like producing. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
are y'all purposely trying to give Zoe the villain edit? Like, did y'all tell her, oh, y'all can go upstairs to the roof? Because I'm like, how did she even know that
Maybe.
existed?
Yeah, no, that is interesting. That is interesting. But maybe like, how you go if you know places around town, they have a rooftop or
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
But Zoe seems like the whole episode, the girl was doing a lot. So
Yes.
it's not like it was just this one incident. I feel like it was like, this is you. Like,
Yeah,
this is you.
definitely.
Even if
Yeah.
the producers are goading you, like you are fully like this is your lane. And
Right.
so I would have asked her if I was him, like all the times. And then why does he leave when she asked him? Like, is that how he
Yeah, and
operates?
he seemed uncomfortable every single time she came and interrupted something.
Yeah. I'm wondering why I'm wondering what connection he sees with her. Like when he sat her down and was like, oh, I want to make sure that we have an emotional connection. I thought he was about to lay it down to her, like they're like, girl, I'm not really feeling this and you got to show me something else.
Yeah,
It sounded like he was sort of saying that, but it sounded like whatever she showed him was enough. And I was just like, okay.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I definitely caught that. I was like, oh, he's probably feeling the tension in the room, but maybe he was trying to give her another shot to see if she pulls it together. But yeah, we'll see.
I note that Chloe won the VIP of the date. I actually, when she walked up, he seemed like he had a little like last episode. He seemed like he had a little sparkle in his eye, and I meant to make mention of it last time, but I didn't. I would not be surprised if she goes very far. Like there's something about him that like something about the way he responds to her that seems like he really likes her. And then also I think she's a likable woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like she's likable, and I think she also doesn't take herself too seriously. And I think guys like across the board like that. And so I would not be surprised if she goes very very far. But we'll see.
Yeah, I love how she was like, I've always been confident.
Hmm.
I loved when she said that. Because it seemed like that's what he was picking up on. But he did
Hmm.
also mention like you're a very open person, like it's easy to be comfortable around you. And yeah, Chloe's like the girl next door, like she's
Hmm.
cool. She cool. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Chloe. Yeah, I do hope that she goes far.
Yeah, I like her. Yeah, she's very and she's also pretty. I think she's like she looks she has a unique look for her, like cuz one of the two girls like I think is Alicia Natalie, they look very similar to me
Yeah,
immediately.
they do.
They were the same girl. When Alicia got booed, I was like, "What?" Like she was just with the kids and I was like, "Oh, okay, okay, they're different." But
Right, right.
they look alike, very much alike to me.
Natalie, who you were talking about, the girl who's in school to be a psychologist. Woot woot. She had that moment with the little girl off
All
to
the
the side
kids,
where
yeah.
she was helping her like emotionally regulate. Loved
Mhm.
that moment, but also didn't like that it seemed like it came with the motive of like, oh, I hope
Trying
Grant sees this and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm with kids and like this is my lane and my alley. So yeah, I didn't really like that part of it. She got the group date rose.
Mhm.
And a little shout out from the little girl.
I thought Chloe got the rose.
No, Chloe won VIP, so she got the jacket. But
Oh,
Natalie got the rose that night, the group date rose.
gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, I thought Chloe would have got that. Um, you know, you know.
Yeah, I did. I did too. I was fully expecting Chloe to get it. I know the little girl probably liked the video that the girl made about Natalie, probably just like
Mhm,
boosted her over the edge. But again, I'm
mhm.
like, girl, you did that with ulterior motives.
Ah,
But it's not giving cute.
I,
I'm sure Grant is watching back like the fuck.
don't you think though that like everybody has these ulterior motives on this show? So it's like they're
Yeah,
all trying to be like impress
yeah,
him and like, so I feel like anybody at that game who did anything, I
yeah,
don't
it
know.
was too impressive. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of the show. So
Ah, but
yeah,
yeah, no, it's an interesting experience. Like I'm still trying to settle into like the show, to be honest,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
about like settling into like this premise of these girls competing. I do not like the girls competing.
yeah. I was actually talking to someone today about it and how like I think they were telling me that the
Mhm.
success rate for the Bachelorette is way higher than for the
Mm.
Bachelor, right? And it's
Right.
like, yeah, she mentioned like the power dynamic that exists between
Mhm.
when you are a woman fighting for a man, right? Like
Mhm.
you're almost like this woman who is like male centered, almost like you have no choice,
Yeah.
right? So it's odd, right?
It's
It's
very
a strange
odd.
way to find love,
Yes.
versus with it being a bachelorette, right? Like you have it's almost like a natural order, right? Like a
Yes.
man being a lion after the lioness,
I
and like being
know.
able to like attack and be like, I want you and
Yes.
fight for you and do
And
all
men
the
are
things.
competitive anyway, like, by nature, I feel
Right.
like, so I mean, I feel like so anyway, I feel like it's brought like at least the drama's here, like, this like, I've never watched a show like this except when I was in college watching, Flavor of Love.
Yeah,
Flavor.
the
I mean, but I know this
OG.
is not Flavor of Love. I'm not trying to put this down and be like it's Flavor of
Yeah,
Love. I'm saying I've never watched a show that's like has this dynamic of like a bunch of women fighting for a man. But it was like in that show, it was like it's ludicrous. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
we know that we don't know. They're here for the drama. They're here for the fame because who wants Flavor Flav except New York? Like New York was
New
his
York
one
love
love. I
Flavor
don't know why
Dance.
he was the one who wanted him, but everybody else is like, whatever. So it's interesting. This it's like the same. It feels the same to me, but it feels like I guess these are more people are more genuine or more real, or they're trying to be. I don't know. So, but it's still hard to shake that. So I'm just like looking for the drama. And this episode, there was more drama. So I was like, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was I was interested in the drama.
yeah.
Like that's all I'm here for.
Drama. Allie Joe, whatever, Allie J, Allie Joe. She
Oh
was going on
yeah.
and on the night of the first group date. I was like, "Girl, you worried about
You smell Zoe.
Joey?" Yes,
I actually I felt her to be honest, but I see you don't. What? So what was Allie Joe's
I just feel like it was doing too
too
much.
much?
Like, say what you gotta say and move on, but I'm like, at the end of the day, you're kind of wasting time. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
congregating with the other girls to talk shit,
Mhm.
talk about it. It's just like, go get them. You
Yeah.
know, go get them.
Yeah, like, yeah and no, because, like, for me, I agree and I disagree with, like, this aspect of, like, her, doing too much. Like, I feel like she had the right to feel, like, how she felt, right?
Definitely.
And I do think that it's her right to speak on it and all that good stuff, right? I don't think she had the juice to back it up. I think she thought she had the juice. And she walked into that room, she took him, and she's like, ooh, 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 ooh. But then when the girl took him right back, I was like, okay.
Right.
I was like,
That was
what's up,
just like
Abby
to
Joe?
say, no, baby. You
Yeah, I
was
was like,
just with him.
yeah,
If
yeah,
you want him, give me 10 minutes and then
yeah.
he'll be all yours.
Yeah, yeah. It's very much like she just she wanted to put all of that on. I mean, it is on Zoe, but at the same time, it's like you was out here putting your big girl panties and marched up there, and you got to close it up if you're gonna,
On mark, no bites.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like I feel you on that part, but then I also feel her on the frustration. And I do think it was nice that she did go up there and do something and take him away from her. But at the same time, it was like you gotta finish that when you start it. You gotta like just be like, no, we're still. But like I said again, Grant keep going all the time to everybody. Why does he keep doing this? Is that what normal bachelors do? Like on
Yeah,
the
yeah, like whoever comes and like steals
oh,
you. I
really?
don't know if like everybody still has like their scheduled time to talk to him.
Mhm.
But then people also have the chance to go and like take other people's time. And so
That's
that's
so
where it's like, oh,
true.
you have to be considerate. And I always wondered like, how much are these girls getting?
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't realize that just is how it happens.
Yeah, because the feelings be growing so deep. It's like, was this
Yeah.
a 10-minute conversation, 20, 30? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you act like you've been with him all day.
right.
But yeah, I don't know. I didn't like I didn't like the stealing aspect because it just kind
Yeah,
of like a little weird when anybody did it. It felt like why can't everybody just agree to have 5
they're
minutes,
doing,
10 minutes, 30, whatever they have.
yeah,
I'm sure they only have like 10 minutes. I promise you, because that man is only one man. It's 18 of them.
right.
10, what is 10 minutes? 10 times 18. That's like 180 minutes.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like that's. I mean, and that's just for 10 minutes with
right.
all the girls. So I'm sure he's exhausted by the end of this process, to be honest.
Yeah,
But I'm sure they're exhausted too, from a different angle, like
yeah,
all the cattiness.
yeah. Last thing about this first date that I found was so funny, was when the kids came out. I don't know if you noticed Vicky's face.
Oh no.
Vicky was giving hell nah. Like, I know you didn't pull. First of all, pull me to this basketball court, and then second of all, pull me to this court to be with these kids.
Did she get let go today?
She got let go.
And the other girl with the
Becca.
eyes, like, is that her name? Rebecca?
Mhm,
Yeah.
they had the braids.
She be giving me the Matrix. Like something about her. She looked like an extra in the Matrix, like a little bit. But I could tell he was going. I mean, I know not to be jumping ahead, but I could tell he was going to let her go when he pulled her to ask what was the vibe of the group. But he didn't call her to like, be like, "How are you? The vibe seems
Right,
off. I'm interested in, how you." But when he asked her, it was like that's like a homegirl vibe. It's like I trust you.
yes.
I
Right,
trust
right,
you.
right, right, right. And it was straight to the
In there.
point. And he didn't kiss
Yes.
her.
You said what?
He didn't kiss her.
Like he's never kissed her, or like just
I
in
don't know if
that.
he's never kissed her, but he didn't kiss her in that clip, and Grant is a kissing man.
Yeah, I be looking away when they do the kissing. It's too much. I do. I really do. Because
Yeah,
it's
well,
too
he
much.
didn't kiss her. He didn't
It's
kiss her.
too
That's
much.
so wholesome of you, Kamaria.
No, but it's just like, it's just too much. Like, maybe when he gets down to like 3 or 4 girls and
Yeah,
he's only, I'll
I
be
feel
like,
that.
this feels like more love. Now it just feels like, okay, I'm interrupting someone's, time. Like, it just feels
Right.
like, it doesn't feel like a love story. It feels like weird to me. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Alrighty, well, on to our first solo date with our girl Alex,
Mm,
the fan fave.
yeah, no, I think he likes her for
Yeah,
sure.
they had a lot of chemistry the entire date.
Mm,
Yeah, she seems like she's very like she puts him at ease a little bit,
mm.
because she's very much so like herself.
Yeah, she's very bubbly and
Yeah,
very, like, energetic and childlike at heart, and I think that that's what he likes about her.
yeah.
Um, and I think that same thing is, like, what's the redhead girl's name?
Chloe.
Chloe, yes. I think that's the common thread between her and Chloe. I feel like it was someone else that he seemed, Latia. No, Latia ain't given. Latia, I don't know what Latia is given. I'm not clear on that
Yeah.
yet. Um, but maybe the girl who speaks Spanish. What's her name?
Carolina.
Yeah, I think she gives that energy as
Yeah,
well, like fun energy.
yeah.
But yeah, the day was cute. Like, they are kind of a little blah to me. I will say that now. Like, I like Alex, and I think they are cute together. I think they're probably the best match. But in terms of, like, how some couples, like celebrity couples, you'll be like, "Oh, I love them together. They're just like, such a dynamic couple." And then some are just like blah.
Yeah,
Couples are just like blah. They're together, but it's like, oh, and they probably have a very solid marriage, but they're just kind of blah.
I can
Like,
see that.
yeah.
Alrighty, what did you think about the song on the piano? Everybody on social media is hating it.
Oh, hell yeah. I hated it too. I was like, go ahead. What'd you say?
I didn't think it was that bad.
Is he supposed to be a singer? Because I know somebody sent me. Well, did you send me a
Yeah, a
song or
clip of
something?
somebody saying he just came on the show to be famous, which
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if he did, I mean, for real, y'all, like, does he really have a music career? Like,
Y-
be effing for real.
Is that like a rap song or was it a R&B song?
On the piano, he like sang, but then on the second group date, he had like his little rap or whatever that he
Uh,
did. Um, yeah, at the
but
second group date.
I'm saying like the single that he has out now,
Oh,
like,
the single. I didn't even listen to it because I
oh,
already knew he don't have no talent.
stop it! Don't talk about him like that.
I mean, not even to be funny, but he ain't Chris Breezy.
Yeah, no, but it seemed like, yeah, it's interesting. Thing. But yeah, I did feel like that was not, like,
It's so cute.
I, I yeah, I mean, I thought it was like funny, like, you know what I mean? Like, when you do karaoke, like, it's like, oh, look at them having fun. It's funny. But did I think it was like to be taken seriously, to call it good, or to call it, anything outside of, oh, you was playing around. Okay. You was playing
Yeah,
around.
exactly. But I thought it was
Like,
cute. Like, it's not giving you got a career in this. I think
yeah,
it's cool that he can play the piano.
yeah.
Multifaceted man.
Maybe people are judging because they're like, "Oh, you're releasing a single. Are you trying to be an
Yeah.
artist? And if this is the direction you're headed, we want to stop you now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
leave, so you don't go too far." Maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know, or maybe
I
it's
mean,
just,
even if they did, I mean, even if he was just trying to get famous, like off of his music, like how far will he actually go? Probably not that far. Like,
mm-hmm.
not to be funny, but like I
Yeah,
didn't see much skill. He can play the piano for sure.
mm.
Who knows? Maybe he's a good producer, but in
You know,
terms of
you
him
never
being
know.
behind the mic,
Uh, maybe not.
Maybe
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yeah. But he might be a producer, might be a what do they call them? Songwriters. They make a lot of money, you know.
They do. They do. Yeah. I mean, he makes a lot of money already, so it I mean, if it was another career, it would just be another career for him, you
What
know?
does he do?
He's a day trader, but he used to play basketball. Forex king.
A day trader.
And day traders be making money, honey.
So when people say they're a day trader, I think like I hear the word I'm a professional gambler. Like that's what I hear.
Yeah. It is
And
play.
and not a lot of people do it well. I know some people and don't dare open your mouth and say something about options.
Yeah.
Like the options people, I know y'all not up there like because they is that's gambling for real.
Yeah.
Um, so like I don't know, and I think that's what the day traders do, to be honest. But I don't know. I just know I know specifically about like people lose a lot of money in dealing with options. But yeah, when I hear day trader, I just you know
Yeah, I mean, it is true. It is gambling at the end of the day, going in and
yeah
out of the stock market and stuff, so
yeah. But you know
it
okay.
works for some people, works for it don't work for others, but for him, it seems like it's working.
Yeah, it does. It seems like it's working. Okay, so group date number two.
And who do you think was the best performer?
I liked Bailey. Bailey.
Yeah.
I thought she was the best. I feel like she embraced it. And it was cute. It was very like 2000s, like
Mhm.
Britney. It's Britney bitch.
Yeah,
Like, very Y2K.
yes.
Um
Love her down.
yeah, yeah, no, it was really cute, and I was actually a little surprised afterwards about like her emotional kind of like outbreak with regards to everything because it seemed like she was so bold and like it was just her having fun. But one of the things I thought about after she started crying was like all those girls in that group. That was the harder task, to be
Yeah,
honest, and it was the more vulnerable task, to be honest. It was
yeah,
like this is everyone's worst nightmare. Like being on stage, like having to, you know what I mean? Like unless you can sing, you know, this is like your worst nightmare. And so I feel like that took a lot of vulnerability from them. And I feel like when people are vulnerable and they open up, it's very you can have what do they call them? They call them vulnerability hangovers. Like it's like a little colloquial term for like you feel exposed and you can't get rid of it. You
really,
can't
yeah,
get the feeling of feeling like you overexposed yourself off of you. Like I feel like that group might have been having some of that more so than dealing with
Carolina kissing him.
yes, because I'm
Yeah,
like everybody kisses everybody all the time. I think
yeah,
it's just that they were placed in a very vulnerable situation and it was difficult maybe to come out of like the fact that they just did this totally vulnerable thing in
yeah,
front of him, in front of everybody. It's going to be on national television, that sort of thing.
yeah. I didn't think about it that way, but I did think about like if Carolina, because she won best performer from Grant, why couldn't they have like their own private moment like to get serenaded by Mario? I was thinking like why did the other girls have to stand there and watch it?
Mm,
That to me felt like a little cruel
mhm,
and unusual. And I
mhm.
get like, producers probably making TV, but like they're all standing there like, oh my god.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like trying to be entertaining and at the same time, like
Yeah.
Carolina's saddling him and grinding it out. Like nobody
Yeah.
wants to watch that. One thing I did, I also like Bailey. She was my favorite performer too. I literally wrote like, I don't care, we love her. Yeah, that was my thoughts. Rebecca. Two things that I noticed about her. So at the start of the date, she ran up and like hugged him, and it just felt like the most aggressive, like of her body. And then when they spoke about like the awkwardness of the date, she was talking
Mhm.
so slow to me.
Oh, I think she was trying to be considerate because she could tell that he was like concerned.
Yeah. I was
So,
like, "Why is she?" I don't know, it threw me off a little
but
bit.
she also seems like a manifesty type of girl. Like she keeps mentioning it, but like she seems
Yeah.
like someone who's very like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And so I feel like she's empathetic and she can like switch on and off based
Mm.
on like where you are. She can reach your level. Like Bailey, I feel like she has one note. Even when they were having that emotional conversation, she was just like
Yeah, she couldn't stop herself. Yeah.
yeah. And he was just like, "You just no, calm down." And she's
Yeah.
she's got one note. I feel like um whoever we're talking about, I can't remember her name, Vicky,
Rebecca.
Rebecca. She has like multiple levels, I feel like, to her.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I didn't think I would have given Bailey the best date win from that. I felt like the rose, Latia
Yeah.
got the rose because she broke down and had them tears with the man. And
Yeah,
I don't know,
agreed.
what you think about that? Like the tears.
Well, I did like that he apologized for making her feel some type of way, and he was like, like, "Oh
Mhm,
god, like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't mean it
mhm,
that way at all." Um,
mhm,
I try to be sensitive to what people are sensitive about because I don't know what that brought up for
mhm,
her,
mhm,
and whether or not, like, she shared all of that in the moment. She mentioned, like,
mhm,
being in this 3-year on and off relationship and,
mhm,
that being told no. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm like, if it made you upset, it made you upset. At least you expressed it so he knows that's a trigger point for you. And
mhm,
hopefully it doesn't happen again, whether or not I see it as rational doesn't necessarily matter, I guess.
mhm, mhm.
But yeah, that's kind of how I felt about that.
Yeah, on for me, like the thoughts that came up were more around like him because I wonder like sometimes I feel like there are some men who can view women very like they want you in a specific box and
Yeah,
like one of the things they want to see is like vulnerability in a way that is shown as like emotional like
yeah,
and I remember like I've had experiences or like at least not experiences one relationship where someone was telling me like that like basically they felt more like I was being feminine when I cried. And I'm like, I'm like upset right now. You know what I'm saying? And you're like being, I don't want to say like turned on or like feeling like, yes, this is what I need from you. And it's
yeah.
like,
Like he
well,
can
I'm
be the
not saying
fixer.
yeah, you said what?
Like he can be the fixer if you're upset.
Yeah, and
Showing
so I'm not saying that that's what he was doing. I the it had a question mark in my head as to like how he got so like she just shot up there from that moment, of
Yeah,
vulnerability. I mean, it could have been just he really did see this connection or whatever. But I did feel a little bit of like my own, I guess, trigger around that, like
yeah,
don't be like, oh, this is a damsel in distress now, and so now you're like excited to explore more about her because she's like showing you this damsel side, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. I also think too because it's so many women that have to manage
Mhm,
that when you have someone being emotionally
mhm,
open with you in that way, it probably feels like, okay, this is somebody that I can actually like connect with on a deeper level. Like
mhm,
they're actually gonna come to me with their emotions and like tell me how
mhm.
they're feeling.
Yeah.
Because again, we don't know how much time they get to spend with each other,
Mhm,
and like how many conversations stay at like the surface level.
mhm,
Because he did, like earlier we were talking about, who was it? Zoe, like, like, can you be
Yeah.
We have, like, an emotional connection, it's just
Yeah.
physical. He was
Mm,
talking to Beverly that night about, like, do you allow your walls to come down? I think it was
mm,
Beverly, I couldn't have that
mm.
wrong. So maybe there's just, like, a level of, like, okay, I can lean into this a little bit more once a woman shows a more emotional side.
Yeah, no, I can see that for sure, and then also it may be memorable to
Yeah,
have, like, that sort of emotional experience with a person, and
right.
maybe that's, like, because part of me is like, b I like Bailey, but Bailey would've been gone that night if I was him, because there was a little bit, not I would have kept her from the group, like, she would have got that, but there it just got the emotion just came on too
Over yeah,
fast and heavy that I would have been like, "Maybe this is a little bit much for me." You
yeah,
know, "You're lovely, but maybe it's a bit much for me." Like, that's what I
yeah.
would have thought a little bit.
She definitely showed a little bit of, like, emotional immaturity a little
Mhm.
bit and, like, being able to actually regulate herself.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
again, he's like, "Okay, like, let's talk about this, like, let's take a
Mhm.
beat," and she's just like, I don't want you to see me like this, I just" and it's like, "Girl, it's okay, like, let's
Mhm.
breathe here in this
Mhm.
moment."
Yeah.
Especially for it to be the second day, but I can also imagine too, like, you think you're gonna be okay in a situation like that, and then when you're seeing all of these connections happening around you, all this kissing, all this woo woo blah,
Mhm.
and then you have to watch it and, like, be okay with it. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a lot, especially
Yeah.
for a woman.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't even understand how that's why I'm like what you said in the beginning, The Bachelorette seems to be more popular. I can see that because
Yeah,
this format to me is a little foreign, but you know.
yeah.
Mhm,
I will say that, going back to what you said about just the general discomfort in the air and everybody having to be vulnerable. I
mhm,
do think that Grant was able to walk away from the second date with having more meaningful conversations
mhm,
because there was so much discomfort in the air,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
Like, although they were having fun at the same time, like, again, being super vulnerable, and then the moment with Carolina, the stiffness in the room, immediately being like, "How are you feeling?" Like, I don't want you to feel bad because he kind of had that conversation with at least the first two or three girls that he met with that night that we saw.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
so I do think it made room for him to have more meaningful conversation.
Conversations, yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Okay, well, on to the ceremony.
Okay.
Um, what did you think about Ella's letter?
That was the most emotion I've seen at all, from her. But that was like the most we've seen of her this season, yeah?
Right, yeah, that was like the most we've seen of her. Um, but I will say when she was reading the letter, it was a lot of like, I love doing this with you. Like I can see da, da, da. And my thing is like, how do you know?
Uh,
The first thing I thought was, girl, are we at letter are we at letter stage?
oh yeah, yeah, no. This is all early for everything, to be honest. Not everything. The dates are good. The dates
Yeah.
are the kissing. But teachers. But yeah, no, the letter was interesting. I thought it was gonna get her through another week. Like I was surprised last week that she made it. And I was like, oh, they spotlighting her. She's about to make it through again.
I didn't think she was gonna get through. I wasn't surprised.
Oh, you weren't surprised? Oh, yeah, no, I was surprised. But I was a little surprised about how she broke down. I was like, "Oh, get it up." She didn't
Stand
she
up.
was just yes, right? She was just I was surprised by that. I didn't
Yeah, I
expect
was
her to
too.
broke
Yeah. I mean, she said to come off of a conversation feeling so confident. I was like,
down.
maybe we didn't see the whole conversation because
Mhm.
again, Grant has like this like lean in, I want to kiss you like gaze in
Mhm.
his eyes when he's interested, and he's
Mhm.
just like, can I keep this? Like this was so nice. Like all the words
Yeah.
you put in this, like it wasn't given like, oh my god, I really appreciate this. Like I love that you wrote this for me. Like I feel X, Y, and Z. There was no validation, so I was like.
Yeah.
She's out of here. I was not surprised at all.
Really? That's so interesting. Because I can never guess, to be honest. Like half of the women who went home, I did not expect it. I did not expect Rebecca to go home entirely. Even though I said I did, I just it was something. It's like I still when it happened, it still was a little shocking to me. I'm like, no, like it gave me suspicion, but then I was like, no, you didn't. And then Vicky went home.
Yeah.
Didn't see much of Vicky this episode, but I was just kind of like the black girls dropping one
Yeah,
by one.
Black Girls is dropping one by one. But I
I'm like,
will say, based on like what he's leaning towards, I'm not sure if Vicky was his type,
oh yeah, yeah.
like
No,
type
no,
of
I
woman.
get yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'll give that. I
Vicky's
mean,
gorgeous, by the way. Like when they play gorgeous, I was like, when they play basketball, I was like, she's really pretty.
oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I don't think Vicky was his type at all, and yeah, I wasn't surprised by her going home, especially because we didn't see any of her. I'm like, at this point, we already know who getting the rose because of the edits.
Oh, 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 you didn't see any of her? I don't be paying attention to the commercials. I don't even
No,
have
no,
cable.
not the commercial edits. I'm talking about the edits in the episode. I'm like, we didn't see Vicky not one time.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not one conversation, nothing. But I do wish, like, when girls do go home, that they still showed conversations with them. So, like, we
yeah,
can see why, right? Like, because I think
yeah,
everyone was kind of shocked that Alicia went home when on the first night, Alicia seemed like
yeah,
a top contender.
for sure.
Yeah.
I thought that as well. Like, 'cause she's the one who was talking about the llama, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. She's the one
Linda,
who had, like,
you not.
the white dress
I
on.
don't know the dress.
Oh, okay.
This might be going in and going
Yeah,
out.
but she was the one who said, like, "I don't kiss on the first night," and then
Yeah, and
ended
then
up
she kissed
kissing
him.
him.
She was the first
Yeah.
one, yeah. No, I remember her for sure because she had a lot of energy. I think we talked about her last episode and was like, she's very
She's
spicy.
spicy, yeah.
Yeah, she has personality. So I was surprised as well. Was there something that that kind of signaled like was she not good with the kids? Which team was she on? Which group was she on? Group one or group two?
I don't even know
I
if
don't
I can't
remember.
remember what group date she went on because
Like she was on
she wasn't in
girl.
any of the edits.
Yeah, she must have been on a group, the basketball group because
Yeah.
they had a lot of people. They had at least 10 people. Like, was that group bigger? Because I'm like, they had
Yeah, that group was definitely bigger. They needed enough
yeah,
girls to make the teams,
yeah.
so,
So I guess the
yeah.
other girls were 8 because it's 18 of them left or were
Yeah.
18. So do they for each episode are they gonna drop girls like not like are they gonna drop this many? I guess that's what I'm always surprised that they
Well,
drop so many.
I think in the beginning, it's like a fast pace until you get to, like, maybe,
Um,
like, top 10 or 8 or something like that.
yeah. Zoe Ash. Yeah, not trying to
Yeah.
drop another black.
Yeah, well, I think they're keeping Zoe for the drama. So, and I
Maybe.
can't wait to see. So let's. So who got roses? Juliana, Beverly, Serafina,
Mhm.
Zoe, Dina, Rose, Bailey, Parisa. I don't know why that girl's still there.
And Dina, I'd be like, why does Dina keep getting roses? Like,
Yeah,
she doesn't seem, excuse me, she doesn't seem like she's like doing anything.
right.
That
Allie
with him,
Joe. You said
Allie.
what?
So Allie Joe, is that the one you said that everybody liked last time?
No, everyone liked Juliana last time.
Oh, Julie, huh?
Yeah,
She's very
yeah.
basic.
I think they like her because she's a pretty girl. She is Italian.
They're all like everybody's pretty. Like there's not anybody that's like.
I don't know. I think
Super.
she has like a different look from the other white girls.
I feel like the one who has a different look is Allie
Chloe.
Joe.
Yeah,
Allie
Allie Joe
Joe.
does too.
Allie Joe
I
is
guess
giving
yeah.
like 90s, 80s, teen star. Like that hair is like very and
She's
she's
giving
got
me
dark.
WWA or whatever that the
Who
sport
is
is.
giving that?
Allie Joe.
Allie Joe, she's giving that to you. I mean, she is a boxer or like a fighter or whatever she
Yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah. But like the
She,
hair and stuff to me, I could just see her like in the
oh.
ring bouncing off the sides of the
To me, it's like she makes me think of like what is that show? What's the show? Saved by the Bell. Like the dark haired
Mm,
girl. Like
yeah.
I feel like in the 90s and the 80s, they had a bunch of brunettes that were like the it girls, like that was their time. And she looks like that to me.
Yeah.
I think she's very pretty. But I thought she was the one that everybody was talking about. But I guess the other one, Juliana, seems very sweet. Like
Yes.
that's maybe I could see people getting behind her because she seems very sweet.
Yeah.
Um, and it was nice that he did the little hand massage for her.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
nice.
that was like kind of because she lost her nails.
Yeah.
And I also on that first date we didn't speak about this, but I thought it was a little. I felt like at first when he came out with and it was like his basketball, I was like, just a little self centered. Like the ladies, like is this something that's gonna be like they're gonna enjoy it? But I guess it's all about like them showing him that you know I don't know.
The
That they're
first thing I thought was not the first date be a basketball and you let
oh
Janae
yes.
go. So with the girls who got roses, our good old pyramid. So at the bottom we
Mhm,
have Zoe, Dina, Rose, Parisa.
mhm,
I actually think that's the perfect order for the bottom row. That's why.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next row we have Beverly, Serafina, Bailey, and Allie Joe.
Mhm. Yeah.
Above them, it would be Natalie, Juliana, and Carolina.
Mhm.
Our second row is Chloe and Latia. And at the
Mhm.
very top, we got good old Alex.
Alex, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so the ladies who left this week were Rebecca, Alicia, Vicky, and Ella with that dramatic.
Mhm. I'd love to hear him say, like, why he lets these girls go. I'm
Yeah,
curious, you know? Even
yeah,
just he don't have to say it to them, he can say it to the camera.
yeah. They should have like a what
Exit
happened a bachelor's. Yeah, why they left.
because we wanna know.
Yeah,
What
we do
what
want to
was it?
know. Yeah,
Especially like you said for Janae, whatever. I wanna know, you
yeah,
know? But I also wonder why his group 1 date, they were dealing with kids, but the group 2 date wasn't. You know what I
right,
mean? It
right.
seems like you would wanna measure the same things across the same, group of girls.
Yeah, good points. Yeah, shows that it's not the best experiment
Yeah.
to find love. But it does look like for the next episode, it looked like from the previews at the end that Latia and Carolina are getting solo dates this week. So
Mhm.
we'll see about that. I did not like there was also an edit where Chloe was sitting with Grant. It was like, so I'm using my time to talk about these other two women. And it seems like there's going to be a lot of drama this next episode, especially with
Mhm.
Carolina
Mhm.
and Zoe. Somebody was talking about her dress being too short. So that drama that you wanted is coming.
I can't with Zoe, and Zoe's the t-shirt gun girl, right?
Yes,
From the beginning,
yes.
yeah. I didn't think I was feeling that from the beginning. Because when she came to her and she was like, "Are you the bitch that said my dress was too short?" And I
Yeah.
was like, first of all,
Did she
are
say
you
bitch?
the bitch? Yeah, she said bitch. Are
Oh,
you the bitch that's calling
inappropriate.
me a bitch? You know what I'm saying? Like, because in the hierarchy of the two things, like me calling your dress short and you calling somebody a bitch, I think the bitch is a little worse. So,
Definitely a little worse. A lot worse,
like,
actually.
I did not. Zoe doesn't have my. She don't
Yeah.
have my rose as a
Yeah,
fan.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
She probably
crazy
would be in the. I
because
mean, like, not that she would even like grace
yeah,
our comments with a comment, but she
right.
probably be like, "Bitch, I don't need a rose from
Right.
this podcast. I just need a rose from
From
Grant.
Grabs.
Thank
Yeah, that's exactly
you."
what she would say. And it's so funny because I had literally grown a soft spot for Zoe
Mm.
because they edited out her intro, like her like story intro or whatever. And I saw it on TikTok on Bachelor Nation
Oh.
where she was talking about how like she was raised by a white family and she often felt ostracized and like she was told growing up that black women aren't beautiful or they're aggressive and all these things and like she's like, I'm working on it. I'm trying to relearn some things about my identity. Um yeah, definitely deserved to be in the show. I don't know why they edited that out, but yeah, I had grew a soft spot for her. So I don't know if what we're seeing is the effects of the impacts of her trauma that she potentially went through. And she's just not nice, you know, because of her lived experiences. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess we'll see next
we'll
week.
see.
So, we may or may not have a guest. And
That is all, y'all. Until next time.
till next time, see
Bye.